Most of the pin work first and then work with it. It's just a high-grade colored pencil, prism pencil, and a lot of the pigment is stabilized with wax, and that doesn't work with wood real well, so I kind of, through experiment, because they don't tell you how much is wax and how much is oil, but these are oil-based pencil, and so they rub into the wood. And the less wax, the more they'll go into the wood. And the reason I do it that way rather than a paint is because I want the wood to influence the colors so that it looks more natural, more like it's part of the wood. And so the color of the wood and the grain of the wood comes through because of that. And that's what I have fun with. So I do the pin work, and I come in with just with the pencils that I choose, and then I have a rub stick that I rub hard and rub it into the wood, and you kind of smooth everything out. And then some pigments, if it's a harder pigment for whatever reason, the pigment makeup of the pigment, then I have to rub it in and then come back and apply some more and rub it in until I get it where I want it. So that's probably the most time-consuming part of it. And then you put oil to it. I seal it with a polyurethane, and when I do that, it changes everything. And you don't always know, because you can have two pieces of this here's dogwood, wild dogwood off my place, and so is this. But this one's going to go a lot darker than this. I know that already. But I can have two similar pieces, and when you put the oil to it, you don't know what's going to happen. And I learn as I go, but you never know for sure. This is yew wood, which is Oregon's hardest wood. It's an old piece. It's lost some of its color, but it's a pretty unique piece. And I have no idea what's going to happen when I do that, because I've never used that old piece before. This is all snag wood, in other words, dead wood. And that works the best using dead wood. This here particular piece here is wild cherry, and it's sold, by the way, in case anybody is interested. You'd have to outbid her, I guess. Huh? No, it has this here image in it, in the grain, that most people see, and if you want to come up and peek at it and see what you think. There's a couple images in there, and you've got to decide whether you're going to get tricky and try to make the wood look like what it's suggesting, or whether you just let that be and let it be suggestive. In other words, here people see an otter, okay? See the otter in the top part of it? So do I try to improve on the otter, or did you just do something else, and if you want it to look like an otter, you do? And that's the direction I lean. Sometimes I might take and say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to make an ocean scene down here, which I could. These would be rocks jutting out of the ocean. And then this here would be kind of symbolic of they would kind of relate to each other. But to get too tricky and try to make an otter out of this, that's too tricky for me. I'd rather work with my landscapes and maybe put a real otter down here. I mean, a complete otter. So, yeah. This one here is alder wood, fairly fresh wood that I cut probably 4 months ago or 3 months ago, and it's a fun wood to work on. That one there with the blossoms on it that sold, that one's alder. This here is alder wood too, but it's water stained, so it's accident. I made up a bunch of boards, and I stacked it up, put a tarp over it. Well, in Oregon, with as wet as it is, tarps don't keep the moisture out. Keeps the direct rain off, but that's it. So and alder absorbs water like a sponge. And so what it did is it stained all the wood. So all of this you see in here is just wood stain from the moisture. Yeah, but it looks like clouds, right? And you see the lines going through it? That's the same thing.
But that looks like geology, and then this looks like a river.
Yeah, there you go. That's why I chose Columbia to do it, because to me it fit that. This here is the natural flow of the stain. I added a little more color to the off areas. And then this here is all natural here. Yeah. So this is a fun one to do. This is of a view from a motel in Pendleton. Went there with Julie for a concert, and they were down in the pool, and I was up in the lobby drawing. So. And I stole, this wasn't there. There was actually some buildings here, but I stole the foreground from another scene, an old combine there. This is dogwood. Just finished that yesterday or today.
The one right behind you, Paul, up there.
This here is maple. Maple really allows a lot of brilliance. It's a hard wood, but it's just something about the wood that really brings out the brilliance. Where dogwood is more subdued. I mean, alder is. And this here is dogwood too. No, this is maple also. Nope, it's dogwood. Yeah, it's dogwood. But this is that alder with that stain up here, and then I added some color to it. It really brings out the brilliance. So you kind of learn to pick and choose with your wood. Now, down here is the image of a cougar head. And most of you saw that after looking at it for a while. Some people saw it immediately. And then below it is a bear head. See the two eyes right there? And the snout. And I can decide, okay, well, let's just let it be.